What's up? Hey, Wolfpack, we are back with another surprise tier list. Yep, we're gonna be ranking a movie series I am totally familiar with, the Scary Movie Saga. What's up? You remember. Hey, Shadowlink, glad you made it. Yep, we're gonna be ranking all the scary movies. All 5 of them, plus an extra spin-off movie. Yeah, I decided to do this tier list after all. A long story short, I was planning to do it back in October, but ran out of time and I didn't watch all the scary movies. I decided, you know what, why not? Let's do it. Let's do it anyway. Scary Movie 6 is totally happening, and I want to celebrate by ranking all the movies we remember that came out. The good, the bad, and the Scary Movie 5. I got all the original Scary Movies plus extra. I apologize if you were expecting us to talk about all the parody movies like Superhero Movie, Epic Movie, Meet the Spartans. I wanted to see how well this tier list would do first before doing them all together. Plus, Scary Movie kind of fits with our horror theme on the channel, so let's do this. I'm not sure how many fans I have of the Scary Movies saga, especially because these movies are now considered a bit old now, but Scary Movie 6, totally happening, it's on the way. They're bringing back Cindy, Brenda, and Marlon Wayans is behind the director's chair. We're gonna see Shorty finally return after weirdly disappearing since the early 2000s. Yeah, of course there's gonna be a 6th one. Yeah, there is, and it came out, like, a lot later than you'd think. It's coming out, like, gosh, I think, like, 15 years after Scary Movie 5 bombed. So, the Scary Movie saga is basically a parody saga. They're spoofs, they're satire. They poke fun of legendary horror movies, both old and new. Mostly ones that came out around the time when these movies premiered. Scream 1 is a parody of, Scary Movie 1 is a parody of Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Scream 2 parodies The Haunting. Scream 3 does Signs, and, The Ring. Sorry, The Ring, forgot. Yeah, they did The Ring. Scream 4 did The Grudge and Saw and War of the Worlds for some reason. Scream 5 did Mama, Paranormal Activity, and what was it called? Black Swan. Yeah, the ballet horror movie. And we also have an extra one on here to end this on a high note, but we'll get to that later. By the way, really excited for the next Tales from the Dark Side review, one of my personal favorites, The Devil's Advocate. Looking forward to it, Shadow. Gonna be our official 666th video. So, I want to do something special for that, and we chose a devil-related tale. It's currently on Patreon right now, but get excited. It'll come out on public when we reach the actual number, and hopefully these tier lists help speed that up. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Scary Movie saga. It's fun, it's creative, it's laugh out loud funny, and its quality has definitely fluctuated over the course of its run. So there are a lot of good scary movies and unfortunately an equal amount of bad ones. There's some lame ducks here. Scary Movie started out so great. It was edgy, offensive, crude, immature, and we loved every second of it. It was great. It was that edgy 90s, early 2000s style, in-your-face humor, no-holds-barred beatdowns against a lot of topics, poking fun at a lot of movies, making fun of the tropes, the cliches, the plot holes. Usually it parodied a bad scary movie. They did parody I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I thought was good, but was a bit mixed when it was initially released. They made fun of The Haunting, really loved that. They tore that apart. Made fun of M. Night Shyamalan's crap Signs in the Village. Not really his best work, but yeah, that's what kind of made them fun. So, Scary Movie, I will warn you, is not for the faint of heart, not for really little kids, even though most of us probably saw these as little kids. I know I did. I really loved them. They're funny, they're dark, they're incredibly hilarious, have lots of hot chicks, a lot of over-the-top slapstick, and a lot of crazy antics. A lot of the jokes still hold up marvelously well. Some don't, but we'll get to them when we're talking about each separate movie. But I plan to rank the entire Scary Movie saga, Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this bonus one here, up here on this here tier list, from top best to bottom worst. So, I'll go over the rules if this is your first tier list ever. I will be talking about each and every one of the scary movies, the good, the bad, the pros, the cons, everything, and where they land on my ranking of them. Up top, we have comedy gold. All these pretty much speak for themselves, but it's not a very long franchise, so I thought it would be much simpler. Comedy Gold is S tier. It's great. It's perfect. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and definitely one of the reasons why the Scary Movie franchise used to be so great. They are Comedy Gold. Underneath that, in A tier, we have Pretty Good. Yeah, it was good, decent, alright. I had a fun time watching this one. Might be a bit more flawed than I remember, or might not have been all that great upon initial release, but I thought it was pretty decent. I had fun with it. It's definitely a pretty good entry. Then right smack in the middle, we have Meh. These ones, whatever, they're okay, they're alright, they're average, had an equal amount of good and bad to them. I didn't absolutely love them, but also don't think they're the worst thing ever. They're passable entertainment, they're a subpar comedy, they're meh. Then underneath that, we have trash. Yep, we got two awful categories. Trash is lame, weak, disposable entertainment, not at all memorable, not at all fun. Basically one I just did not care for. But the worst of the worst is super trash. These ones are F tier. They're awful. The worst. Total losers. The worst movies of this franchise, and possibly the worst movies ever made if you followed what the critics said. Basically, it's super trash. God awful, don't watch it. It is rock bottom bad. And I think you all know exactly which ones are going to end up down here. But yeah, not a huge tier list and pretty simple because we only have 6 movies to talk about. But boy, are we going to go on a tangent on some of these. Yeah, I can't wait for Scary Movie 6. It's gonna come out. I'm honestly kind of curious if it'll be good. Marlon Wayans is back and he says he's directing it. He finally took it away from the directors of Scary Movies 4 and 5 who kind of ruined the franchise. But they actually got somebody who made the original or worked on it to come back. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Not too much details have been released. Marlon Wayans implies he's going to be parroting a lot of Jordan Peele movies. He might do Nope or Us, but he also says he's going to extend that to a bunch of other horror stuff, exactly like the first 2 did. Yeah, Marlon Wayans, he played Shorty, the stoner guy. He's gonna be coming back. Anna Faris and Regina Hall are coming back as Cindy and Brenda. They are the funniest characters in these, and everybody was pissed when they didn't come back in 5. Hello, cat. Hello, house. Hey, Batsmith, you made it. Yeah, we're talking about Scary Movie. Didn't miss too much. We're just starting here. I went over the basic rules. Very simple tier list, but the Scary Movie saga are kind of simple, dumb, fun horror movies. Now remember, it's all just my opinion, comedy subjective, yada yada yada. These are not exactly high art, but they're great. They're fun for horror fans, fun for people who love comedy, a lot of that edgy humor, but that's what made them great. Some of them have a lot of hit jokes that really knock it out of the park, and some of them have jokes that are just plain duds. Not good, not bad, or at worst, painful to sit through. I mean, then again, Spaceballs is also getting a sequel to at long last, so disappointed it's not subtitled The Search for More Money. Yeah, they missed a golden opportunity for that. I think they will eventually call it, or the fans will definitely call it that. But yeah, parody movies, they're not high art, they're dumb fun, they're enjoyable, and how you feel about them depends on how funny they make you laugh, which is what we're here to talk about. Gonna talk about all the scary movies, so I guess we should finally get this underway. Let's start this in order with the first ever Scary Movie. Scary Movie 1. Shocker, going on to Comedy Gold. Yeah, I love this film. If you've seen my top 10 best horror comedies ever, top hottest final girls, you know I do love the first movie. This one is a comedy masterpiece. It is great. It is hilarious. It is offensive. It is raunchy. It has a friggin' blast with the content, and it does a fabulous job making fun of the horror genre. Scary Movie is a direct parody of both Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2 of the biggest horror movies that came out back then, and pretty good films still to this day. We follow Cindy Campbell, who's the final girl. Anna Faris got her start on her career through this movie. The Wayans brothers are in it. We see Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans. I almost forgot the brother. Yeah, Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans are in here. Regina Hall also got her career started on here. These movies are kind of sketch comedies with a lot of spoofs and parodies in between. Shannon Elizabeth, the hot chick from American Pie, is in here as the alpha bitch popular girl. Yeah, basically, we make fun of Ghostface. A lot of jabs at Ghostface, and technically the Fisherman Killer, he's on here too. Ghostface uses the fisherman's hook as his iconic weapon. It combines the plots of both these movies and basically rips them apart, makes fun of the horror genre. Ghostface is completely lampooned and parodied here, and he is hilarious. It's kind of funny how ineffective Ghostface is in this movie. It's basically a whodunit murder mystery, but with a lot of jokes and cartoony humor. And we meet a whole bunch of colorful characters, a lot of side plots, a lot of jabs at iconic scenes from horror movies that were big back then. They even make fun of the Blair Witch Project at one point, where Gail Weathers is crying into the camera, but instead of tears, you see like snot coming out her nose. And you should do a parody movies tier list. Okay, I might. I want to see how well the scary movie one does first, since I'm talking about the first genre that kind of relates with our channel. I thought about doing the other ones, because there's a lot of good and a lot of bad ones out there. N-I-G. Are you going to spell the N-word, Chris? All actors and actresses from Scary Movie 1 and 2, except American Pie Lady, will come back. Yeah, I heard that. I'm not sure if they're going to bring Greg and Bobby back in Scary Movie 6. They kind of seem like they were one-and-done characters, but yeah, this one is funny. Carmen Electra also plays a hot chick. Carmen Electra had the most iconic intro. I really loved her, and yeah, Carmen Electra became kind of the mascot for the hot girl characters in these parody movies. This one, easily your best one. She plays Drew Barrymore's character, Casey. Yeah, they even call her Drew in this, and as you know, Carmen Electra always strips down in these movies. Here, definitely her best one. This was back when she was doing Baywatch. She's the opening kill by Ghostface, and Ghostface is going around their town killing a bunch of people, where we lampoon the heck out of Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, making fun of iconic scenes from both those movies. I love when Shannon Elizabeth is like doing her acting for her beauty pageant, and she's pointing out that the killer is right behind her boyfriend, and everybody thinks, oh, she's a really good actress. Wow, I really believe that raw emotion. And like Greg is getting shanked and skewered. Made fun of that really stupid scene from last summer where nobody turns around to see the boyfriend getting killed on the balcony. Yeah, looking forward to see who comes back in the Scary Movie 6. I have heard Anna Faris, Regina Hall, and Marlon Wayans are the only confirmed ones coming back, so we'll be seeing Cindy, Brenda, and Shorty. Haven't seen Shorty in forever. Yeah, Marlon Wayans is also hilarious. He plays this goofy stoner, does that weird laugh. She's son. A lot of stereotypes here, so again, not for the faint of heart. Pretty much they make fun of how awful teenagers are. Cindy is a total moron. Brenda is like this weirdo girl who she's like kind of a ghetto stereotype in the first two films. Then they just turned her into like the kooky crazy one in 3 onward. Shawn Wayans plays Ray, who's an obvious gay guy who's like in an armored closet refusing to admit it. Yeah, a lot of gay jokes with Ray. I'm not sure if Shawn Wayans will be this character again in Scary Movie 6, but yeah, he plays this hilarious gay stereotype who, oh, I'm not gay, and he's like doing a whole bunch of clearly gay stuff. Lachlan Monroe, who hilariously would be in actual Freddy vs. Jason as a grouchy cop, plays the angry asshole of the group, and he's kind of funny and over the top. He gets blackmailed because he has a small wang. Shannon Elizabeth plays the hot chick. She's supposed to be Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, but dies kind of early in the movie. I believe she dies like halfway through. A movie doing the same as Scary Movie. Oh, you're talking about Shriek, If You Know What You Did Last Halloween the 13th. You know the parody of the parody. Yeah, Shriek, I Know What You Did Last Halloween the 13th. That weird one that tried to copy Scary Movie but did a pretty bad job. I watched it once. It's not on this tier list. Sorry if you were looking forward to it, but might add that to the future parody movies tier list if this one does well. Yeah, they tried to do Scary Movie and ended up failing. Okay, so Scary Movie 1 has a lot of laugh out loud hilarious jokes. There's a lot of jabs at stereotypes and the cliched characters, but also a lot of random jokes you don't see coming. Like Ghostface goes after Cindy and he's hiding like behind the couch and behind the curtain. It's kind of hilarious how much he fumbles here. Gets into a lot of slapstick fights chasing people. I love when he's chasing Cindy up the stairs and she's hucking a bunch of stuff at him. Yeah, Cindy actually tries fighting back in these movies. She like throws a vase at him, then a bicycle, then her old grandma pushes her down the stairs, and finally like that grand piano comes down and it misses Ghostface but hits her grandma. Yeah, that's the type of humor we're aiming for. A lot of raunchy jokes, a lot of racist jokes, but that's what kind of makes them funny, how nobody cares when Brenda dies, but then when she types, white woman in danger, the police are there in like 2 seconds. Ghostface, pretty hilarious in this movie. The guy playing him does a pretty good job sounding like Roger L. Jackson. I had to look up to see if it actually was him. Surprise, no it wasn't. He was trying to sound like Jackson from the Scream saga. Ghostface actually gets high with Shorty and does a rap battle with them, and if you've seen my Goosebumps videos, you know I love using the scene where they're partying together and they're so high. I love Ghostface actually has facial expressions. Yeah, it's not just a mask, it is his actual face. We see Ghostface like drinks like Coca-Cola through it. His face changes to like stoned and angry, and if you see the thumbnail of this video, that weird "what's up?" he actually has like a tongue. That was a really creative jokes. Carmen Electra, good lord. Yeah, Carmen Electra, she is hot. She's like Amy Miller hot. I kind of like the Shriek parody as a guilty pleasure, at least it's not a 2000s parody movies. Alright, I'll have to check it out again, but it's not on this tier list if you were hoping for it, The Batman. Chug, 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 chug. It's some good shit. Yeah! Kind of funny. The killer like gets high and parties with them, then eventually sobers up and kills them. He like does the rap battle. I'm gonna slash you, gash you, bash you. And he's like actually stabbing all their friends. Yo, son, that was the illest rhyme I've ever seen. Like Shorty and the killer become total friends. It's funny because it's so unexpected. Can I tell you a secret? Sure, man. I see dead people. Dude, this shit is awesome. The stoner guys are really funny because of how hilarious they are. Of course, Anna Faris is also pretty funny here. Cindy is a complete mockery of the final girl trope. Cindy doesn't want to have sex yet, but then when she does, she goes like completely all out on it. Yeah, if you thought Neve Campbell's scene in Scream was definitely hot, Anna Faris really ramps it up in her sex scene. Yeah. Get a lot of gross out humor too, because Bobby like shoots her all the way up to the ceiling. It's funny. It is hilarious. I really miss comedies like these. I love this I don't give a crap attitude the movie has, which is what gave Scary Movie such an edge. Now in the later ones, they're definitely a lot more try-hard or restrained in these types of jokes. Top 10 worst horror movie cliches. Oh, you want to see that, Sabretooth? Definitely useless adults and authority figures will be on there. I've seen enough of them on Goosebumps, Haunting Hour, and even Power Rangers. Miss Manball scene and when it plays Psycho Killer scene. Yeah, that's right. The weird PE teacher is this guy in drag who wants to hook up with high school girls, and Cindy's like trying to have a talk with her, like a heart to heart, and she thinks she's coming out of the closet and coming on to her. See, like, her balls flying. Yeah, there's a lot of nudity in this movie. Unfortunately, guys, there is some male nudity here, too. A lot of penises. Some hot chicks. Carmen Electra gets naked in her underwear, and we see Anna Faris's butt briefly in the sex scene. But yeah, also, a lot of guy nudity, too, which I'm kind of okay with. Yeah, they wanted to get a female audience with these movies, too. Yeah, Ray gets killed by being impaled by a penis. Yeah, that actually happens. You will not see this on any of the TV cuts, but yeah, Ray gets head stabbed by a penis. It's a jab at the Scary Movie 2 opening where Jada Pinkett Smith and her stupid boyfriend are going to the theater. Love that Brenda gets so annoying that the audience kills her. Yeah, Brenda is pretty much the victim who deserves to die in this film. Brenda's like being annoying and obnoxious at the movie theater, talking loudly on her phone, bringing like a fried chicken to the theater. Oh, this is some good shit. Did I talk to you? Like, she's like talking on her phone. I've seen this movie already. They break up. And the audience gets so pissed that they all kill her, including characters from other movies. You ruined Schindler's List and Jackie Chan movie, and everyone's cheering for her death. Doofy is a god tier character, yeah. Oh, Special Officer Doofy. Yeah, making fun of Dewey Riley from Scream. Here, Doofy is like a special needs police officer who hilariously fails at his job. So, to their credit, there actually is a pretty good murder mystery here because all the characters are so wild and crazy and exaggerated that you're kind of unsure of who the killer is, especially because it's implied Ghostface might be an actual supernatural being. Sydney has that epic Matrix fight. Yeah, it's still funny. Even though the special effects have not held up for it very well, it actually is still hilarious how Ghostface does the Matrix duck and he breaks his back, and Sydney's like flying and dancing in midair. Yeah, Cindy actually is a badass in these movies, which is why she's one of my favorite final girls. Cindy actually does fight back and is usually in a crazy-ass action scene in all these movies. Sydney fights and beats Ghostface Matrix style, kicks him out the window, and we find out, in a twist, who was the Ghostface killer? It was Special Officer Doofy! Yeah, hilariously, the stupid, retarded cop guy was the true killer, and it's actually a jab at how Scream almost made Dewey the main antagonist of the first Scream. Yeah, in the original script, a lot of people claimed it would have been a very fascinating and powerful twist if Dewey, the nice guy cop, was the villain. Here they parody that. Instead, it was Doofy, who was just playing stupid and dressing like a disabled guy. He was actually like this cool badass spy guy, and he hooks up with Gale Weathers, getting away with the murders. And then Sydney screams no before getting hit by a car. Get used to that type of ending in not just the Scary Movie sagas, but all the parody movies that came out. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Special Officer Doofy was the twist villain. But yeah, Scary Movie still holds up very well. I really like it. There's some dated references, which I think are the worst part. They do reference like topical stuff at times. Stuff that was on TV, but younger, newer generations might not get now. I believe the number 2 referenced The Weakest Link too, but not as much as you'd think. It is a pretty fantastic parody of the first Scream film, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, among other things tossed in there. Cindy is funny. All the jokes pretty much land in this one. A lot of random gags you would never suspect. Jokes for guys, jokes for girls, jokes for people who love fun. Scary Movie 1 definitely holds up. It is comedy gold. Alright, so we'll move on to movie 2. Let's do Scary Movie 2. Okay, depending on who you ask, number 2 is either the worst Scary Movie or one of the underrated sequels, and honestly, I love it. Scary Movie 2 is underrated. I actually think it's funnier than the first one. Yeah, I know, controversial, but I might put Scary Movie 2 in first place because it is laugh out loud hilarious. Okay, so Scary Movie 2 came honestly like right after the success of the first movie. This one like came out 1 or 2 years after the first one was a huge hit, and honestly I really liked it. A lot of people do not because they kind of double down on the gross out and sex jokes, but it is funny. Like, it is funny. Scary Movie 2 is a parody of that stupid remake, The Haunting. Among other things tossed in there, it opens up with The Exorcist. Oddly never follows up on it, but yeah, it has The Exorcist, it has, what was it? The Amityville Horror, that's also thrown in there. Little Shop of Horrors is also thrown in there, and a lot of Poltergeist, and oddly, Charlie's Angels is also tossed in at the climax. I love Scary Movie 2. This one might be my favorite one. It is crazy, it is wild, and the characters are also on their A game here. So, The parody movies have never been super good at the characters. Here, I think the first two are definitely great at that. The characters all feel so entertaining, so unique, so stylized. The characters actually feel like they're their own people and not just shallow parodies or stand-ins from characters from these movies they're mocking. Scary Movie 2, the clown scene, yeah. Uncle Ray's got a balloon for you. Da 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 da. Oh! That clown scene. That was great. Yeah, there's a lot of great ones. I love Cindy boxing with the cat. Help! My pussy's gone crazy! And she gets into a boxing fight with a friggin' cat. Shorty being smoked by a giant weed monster. That made me laugh so hard. Like, Shorty gets turned into a bunt for weed by a weed monster and smoked himself. So I smell something burning. Oh, it's me. Definitely agree. That 2 is just as great. I argue it's even more funnier than the first. I actually do think it is funnier than the first one. Scary Movie 2 doubled down on all the strengths of the first one. It's much tighter, much more fast-paced, much more focused, and throws a joke at you like every second. It is like classic Family Guy. There are so many jokes that you might miss of one or two because you're laughing so hard at some of the good ones. The one negative I have about this movie is I'm not a big fan of Sydney's love interest, Bobby. Bobby's played by Francis from Malcolm in the Middle. He has his few funny moments, like when Cindy wants to be just friends and he treats her like a bro. He like wedgies her really hard. Yeah, get used to that. Hot girls getting wedgied. It became like a weird fetish in these movies, but yeah, Bobby is not one of my favorite love interests. I think Scary Movie 3 had the best Cindy love interest. He's more so a dick, and every time he be's nice, it's kind of like the bare minimum, but that's what makes it funny. It's like a big joke. Love Theo. Theo became my Scary Movie waifu. Yeah, Theo, the sexy redhead, tries to seduce Dwight. David Cross is in this movie, and this is one of his funniest films ever. If you thought David Cross was funny in Night of the Living Do, I love him as Dwight, the wheelchair science guy, and he's like so prideful in himself. He like doesn't want you to feel sympathy for him, and oh yeah, Hanson. Chris Elliott plays this creepy, sus old butler with that deformed baby hand. Yeah, that guy was iconic. The dinner scene, easily the funniest part of the movie. Yeah, remember the dinner scene where Hanson is serving everything? I made it all by hand. And he's like passing around the food, getting his gross deformed hand on it, and the turkey. Yeah, stuff the shit out of it. I don't know what this part on the turkey is, but I lick it anyway. The banter with David Cross's character and the butler about their legs and hands are absolute golden. You look familiar to me. Were you in Stomp? Oh, let me give you a hand. They're like comparing their handicaps and getting into a fight over it. It's funny. Chris Elliott is definitely the MVP of this movie. He's like so funny. He plays like this weird old butler and always touching things with his gross hand. Again, the dinner scene, definitely the funniest moment of this scene. Like, you cannot watch this scene without laughing. It is just that good. They almost get dessert, which he didn't make, and they're all playing game. My germs, my germs. And he puts his gross hand into the entire thing. My germs. He's like barfing and coughing on the desserts. Yeah, Hanson like just ruins dinner for everyone. The caretaker slash the butler, don't remember his name. Yeah, Hanson. He was fucking hilarious, worthy successor to Doofy. Yeah, Chris Elliott as Hanson, the creepy butler with the gross deformed hand. He is the highlight of this movie. He is the best character, and you could tell they had fun doing scenes with him because he has a lot of screen time in this. He plays like the mysterious butler, but in a twist, he's not actually the villain. No, he's taking care of a house haunted by his former master. It's Hugh Kane from the Haunting remake. Weirdly, they got Richard Mole to play him. I honestly forget every time I watch this. Richard Mole, Two-Face, plays the ghost. He has that awesome wheelchair race with Dwight. That was really funny. They do like this Fast and the Furious race with their wheelchairs. Hit me with your best shot, motherfucker. Yeah, Richard Mole. You can faintly hear Two-Face in there. Like, sometimes he sounds like Big Bad Harv. And the parrot, yeah, the parrot's like this sassy, douchey ghetto bird. Oh, Polly want a cracker? Polly want your mommy's sweet ass. What'd you say about my mama bird? Polly said, Polly want your mama's sweet ass. Like he's getting into a fight with them. Love that. Cindy actually takes care of him at the end of the movie and adopts him. How will you shut the fuck up? God, why didn't you let me die? God, what the fuck did you put in this bird seed? Ah! He's like shitting all over the wall. That parrot, pretty underrated. Oh, that's right, he was in this. Yeah, do you remember Shadowlink? Richard Mole plays the ghost. He's Hugh Kane in his spirit form. I did watch the end credits show. He wore like a mocap suit mostly, but it is his voice as the ghost. You can faintly hear Big Bad Harv in there. It is kind of hilarious. Yeah, Richard Mole is the main villain of Scary Movie 2. Okay, so if you don't remember The Haunting remake, good for you. It was a bad movie, and honestly, I love how they bash the hell out of it here. It is a terrible remake. Basically, the house is haunted by a former monster named Huey Kane. He was a terrible guy, an adulterer, did bad things here, and his spirit is still haunting the house. He caused the Exorcist girl at the beginning. He caused a lot of the scary movie antics that are going around, and he ultimately plans to take Cindy because Cindy looks like his former mistress. He had a mistress who he wanted to end up with, but his wife went crazy, killed them all, and weirdly the wife is kind of played dead seriously in this movie. Tim Curry's also in this. He plays like a horny professor who wants to score with the students. He actually dies a really creepy death. He's seduced by the wife's ghost, then believed to be devoured. We don't see it happen, but yeah, it happens in like a jump scare death, and it's actually unironically creepy. But yeah, Hugh Kane is here and he wants Sydney to be his bride. They'll be together forever, and he's going to slowly kill off her friends one by one to get her all alone, leading to them fighting back. For the first hour of the movie, they don't know the house is haunted, exactly like The Haunting, the Liam Neeson and Owen Wilson flick. But yeah, a lot of wacky antics happen here until they find out who Hugh Kane is, why he's doing this, and that Sydney is his prime target. My least favorite character, honestly, more than Bobby, is Tori Spelling. She plays like this weirdo girl who the ghost has sex with, and she wants to be his new lover, and the ghost is clearly not into her, leading to her being killed. But yeah, she was like this weird, annoying chick. I guess it's funny because Tori Spelling used to be a huge person back in the day, and she's playing someone kind of the polar opposite of herself. But yeah, she was more so annoying than funny. Tim Curry's in this. He has some funny moments. I wish he got more screen time, but no, apparently they had a lot more fun with Hanson and Dwight. They're all over this. David Cross is hilarious, and Chris Elliott is laugh out loud funny. He will get you to laugh and smile all throughout this film. Cindy is still funny. They bring back most of the cast from the first movie. Cindy, Brenda, Shorty, Ray come back. Yeah, I think it's just the four of them. They did not bring back Buffy and Greg. They were pretty much killed off and didn't return. I think Shannon Elizabeth was like doing other things at the time, and Greg was not one of the more popular characters, so a lot of people were fine with it. But yeah, they brought 4 out of the 6 main characters from the first one back, and yeah, they're still pretty funny here. Brenda doesn't get to do too much in this one until the skeleton chase scene. Ray is still back to his usual shtick. He's clearly gay, but he doesn't accept it. I do love Theo. Theo's definitely my scary movie waifu. She's the hot redhead girl. She's kind of the popular Catwoman of the group. She's the lovable alpha bitch. She becomes friends with Cindy and Brenda, but it leads to a hilarious random Charlie's Angels fight where Theo, Cindy, and Brenda become the Charlie's Angels, the 2000s versions, and fight with Hanson. Hanson becomes possessed by Huey Kane, and also laugh out loud hilarious. They have what's supposed to be a badass fight scene, and hilariously, this old guy with a deformed hand and no combat experience whatsoever beats them up easily without breaking a sweat. Yeah, that's the joke. They have like their badass girl power moments, come in dressed as Charlie's Angels, and despite doing some badass moves, he takes them out easily. Like Cindy's like going in slow motion and he just knocks her down with a baseball bat. Theo almost punches him out, but then she's thrown into a brick wall. Brenda like kicks him a million times in fast motion, but burns her foot and hurts herself. It's kind of hilarious that they're losing to this guy, which is why it's comedy gold. Ray and Hanson scene parody Hannibal. That was Shorty. Ray fucking the ghost. Yeah, that was Shorty. Ray is the other one, Shawn Wayans. Yeah, Ray's the gay guy. Shorty is the weird stoner guy. Marlon Wayans is also a lot funnier in this one. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he was good in the original too, but here he gets a lot more lines and scenes to himself. Gets to shine as his own character. Special mention going to when the weed monster almost smokes him. Then Shorty ends up hooking up with the ghost wife. Like, just prevents her from killing him by putting a paper bag over her head. And they're still together by the end of the movie. Yeah, Ray gets smoked by the weed monster. That was hilarious. Yeah, they also throw in references to other scary movies here. The main one they're doing is The Haunting, but you also see The Exorcist in the beginning, the Amityville Horror, Poltergeist, especially with the killer clown, and Little Shop of Horrors through the weed monster. Hanson turns into Hannibal Lecter at one point where he's like cutting Shorty's brain open, but he doesn't find a brain. He finds like a rapper guy in here. Yo, this is your brain on drugs. This guy was like really weird. I gave him these exaggerated buck teeth, and he basically is Shorty's personality. Yeah, I was really baffled by that scene, but it's still funny. Some dated references here, like they also find the Florida ballots were burnt in the incinerator. Some of the effects have not held up well, namely the skeleton. The skeleton is at first this really cool, creepy Muppet. Then when Brenda and Sydney like take him apart and rebuild him, they use a lot of green screen and it does not look convincing. Huey Kane honestly looks fine up until he like starts moving and interacting with the cast. I do love the wheelchair race, that is funny, and he and Dwight have that big shootout and race. It's like a Fast and the Furious scene. That was pretty good. Some of the digital effects are a bit iffy. There was an alternate ending where Cindy ends up getting nuked by the cat. The cat from earlier comes back as like a kamikaze fighter, and I watched it on the special features. It does not look really good. I'm not surprised this ended up being deleted in favor of the ending they went with. Yeah, Shorty and Hanson did the Hannibal scene. Say, Kat, have you seen the other movies? Just some random guy comments. Yes, I have. What's up? Hey, just some random guy comments. Okay, so, yeah, I have seen most of the other movies. Some are good, some are underrated, and a lot are pretty bad. I do actually like Epic Movie. I liked it as a kitten, and honestly still kind of have a soft spot for it now. Meet the Spartans, yeah, that one really sucked. I love Carmen Electra. She's the only reason I watched it, but the movie as a whole is pretty painful and boring. Disaster movie, straight up disaster. That one is crap, total, irredeemable, bad trash. Nostalgia Critic tore it apart very accurately in his review. A superhero movie, this one underrated. I love Drake Bell's superhero movie. It is hilarious. I would say it's up there next to the first Scary Movie in terms of fun humor. We do have a surprise other parody movie on here. I do like it a lot, but we'll get to that one later. But Scary Movie 2, yeah, it is underrated. I honestly think it's funnier than the first one. That's how good it is. It did not make my top 10 best horror comedies ever because the first one gets points for really setting the standard, raising the bar, but 2 definitely overstepped that. 2 is underrated. It is funny. It is cool. It is enjoyable. There are jokes that absolutely will make you laugh in this film. That's how good it is, and all the performances in this are perfect. All the characters really embrace their role, embrace the insanity, and get at least one good joke here. Even the characters I don't like, but yeah, highly recommend it. Scary Movie 2, it is awesome. It's as great... it's as great as Shorty and his sex. Yeah, Tim Curry's also in this. He's also pretty funny. Though Theo really stood out for me. Yeah, I know she's no Carmen Electra, but she's like my scary movie waifu. But Anna Faris is also pretty funny. If you're wondering, yeah, it does end with someone getting run over by a car. That's the running gag in all these movies, even the ones outside of the scary movie timeline. Yeah, Scary Movie 2, just as funny. It's underrated. Going on to Comedy Gold. They even threw in a Ghostbusters reference. Alright, so now we should move on to the third one, Scary Movie 3, or Scary Movie 3.5 if you bought the DVD. Okay, so the Wayans brothers were completely kicked out of this, and the Weinstein brothers took over. Yeah, I know, a lot of people have some words about the Weinstein brothers, but honestly, I might get some flack for this. Scary Movie 3 also is hilarious. This is the last great scary movie and will go on Comedy Gold. I know, I'm gonna get some flame war for this, some comments down low. You like Scary Movie 3? Yes, I do. I think this is the last good scary movie, and let's get this out of the way. No, it is not as good as the first two. The first two are masterpieces. 3 is a step down, but not a step down too low. Scary Movie 3 is a parody of Signs and The Ring, much more modern horror movies. Cindy and Brenda are the only two characters who come back, and we meet a whole new roster of characters. Some good, some bad, and some Charlie Sheen. Yeah, Charlie Sheen is in this movie as one of the main characters. Honestly, I think he's actually pretty funny in this one. He will not be in the next two. Charlie Sheen is pretty decent here, especially because he gets beat up a lot. Simon Rex comes in this movie, and I think he's actually really hilarious. Simon Rex is underrated as a comedy actor. I think he has the energy, the charisma, and a lot of the love for slapstick. Simon Rex always gets beat up in his movies and plays a lot more over-the-top goofballs, total bro dudes, and he is hilarious here. I think Simon Rex is one of the funniest love interests for Cindy. Basically, he's the male equivalent to Cindy. Yeah, Cindy comes back and she is a stand-in for Sarah Michelle Gellar's character from The Ring. Honestly, does a pretty good job, too. I honestly like it, too. Okay, Shadowlink, I'm not alone here. Honestly, this one also pretty underrated. Okay, not as good as Scary Movies 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are masterpieces. 3 is an decent sequel. It has some really great jokes. It is directed by the guy who directed the Naked Gun movies, though some people are turned off by it because the Weinstein brothers are attached to this. I would like to point out to you that the Weinstein brothers were also attached to the Scream saga, and those are considered horror masterpieces. But yeah, Scary Movie 3 had the Weinsteins doing a lot of input, and honestly, it's pretty good. It's actually really funny, really entertaining, and also carries on the spirit of the first two, so it is a bit toned down. Unless you watch the unrated cut, then it's totally just like Scary Movies 1 and 2. There's still raunchy humor, a lot of hot chicks. This time our hot characters are Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy. They play like these hot bimbos who are the opening kills. Honestly, really glad they carried on that spirit. Yeah, Pamela Anderson will be the last hot chick you'll see in these movies. Jenny McCarthy's also pretty funny here. Yeah, they play the hot girls from The Ring. They get killed by the haunted videotape. Samara kills them, and we find out this is going to combine both The Ring and Signs. We follow Charlie Sheen and Simon Rex, who are two brothers running a farm, just like on Signs, and the farm is being haunted. Aliens have come, and it turns out they're all after this haunted tape. Samara is the main villain of this movie. She has a tape where if you watch it, you will die in 7 days. And of course, Cindy and her friends get roped into it. Cindy is now a reporter. She will not be in Scary Movie 4, but yeah, she finally got a job. She's now an adult. Well, technically they were adults in Scary Movie 1, but here they're canonly adults. Cindy and Brenda are now grown up. Brenda's a teacher, a really terrible one too. And Cindy is now a news legend. She's trying to be taken seriously as a reporter, works for this really lazy, crude news company who only talk about sex, violence, and the weather. That reminds me, do this story about a porn star who was shot dead in a dark alley on a rainy night. Yeah, there's a lot more jokes that lean towards the Naked Gun style of humor. There are some like Scary Movie 1 and 2. There are some raunchy jokes here, a lot of hot chicks and sex jokes, and quadrupling the race jokes, Anthony Anderson and Kevin Hart are here playing two hilarious ghetto dudes. They're pretty funny. Simon Rex tries to be like a famous rapper. He's trying to find himself, leading to him doing a weird Eminem parody. Yeah, they parody a lot of movies outside of the horror genre, which is why some people started disliking Scary Movie. Yeah, Scary Movie 3 is kind of one of the last ones where they did actual horror films. They tried doing like other movies outside of the genre. This was before we got a lot more like epic movie, Meet the Spartans and disaster movie. They toss in like a Michael Jackson reference. They toss in Eminem's biopic movie. The Matrix. The Matrix is also in here, and The Matrix is not even a horror movie. The Matrix is like sci-fi. So the tape is killing people in 7 days. They, of course, accidentally watch it. Cindy is now taking care of her sister's child, Cody, and Cody is hilariously abused all throughout this movie. It is hilarious here. In the later movies, it got lazier, but there's a lot of little children, like cute, innocent kid characters who get hurt or get beaten the crap out of, get accidentally injured by the adults who are trying to actually care for them. Honestly like it too. Yeah, I like it. If you're friendly, then why did you try and choke us? Well, that's how we say hello. Well, then, how do you say goodbye? Gets kicked in the nuts. Yeah, I forgot. Tom Kenny voices the aliens here. It's also kind of hilarious. Yeah, Richard Mole's in Scary Movie 2, and Tom Kenny voices the aliens in Scary Movie 3. If you think that's weird, you should see how we pee. And they pee out their fingers, and of course one of the aliens has their finger in Charlie Sheen's mouth. So, we're not so different, and Leslie Nielsen pees out his finger. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen is also in these movies, and I believe thanks to Hansen and Scary Movie 2, we always have the crazy old character. There's like always an old man or old woman who's kind of this kooky weirdo doing random things, and Leslie Nielsen takes over that for these movies, and yeah, he's also funny. Leslie Nielsen is an obvious stand-in for George W. Bush. He plays like this kooky weirdo president who tries to help the country only to make things worse. I love how he overreacts to believing that the aliens are everywhere. He believes the aliens could even be in this room. He's like hosting a special needs like parade. Yeah, he's like hosting like a parade of humanitarians and special needs awards, and he believes like all these handicapped people are aliens. A guy like talks to him with like a voice box. Dear God, they've already infiltrated, and he's like assaulting handicapped people and children. Good God, they've implanted metal in their children's mouths. Jerry's kids my ass. Leslie Nielsen, he is a comedy legend. May he rest in peace. I'm honestly glad he did a lot of these goofy parody movies, even after The Naked Gun, because he is so hilarious, so funny that they brought him back in a number of these pictures. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen plays the goofball president. He is laugh out loud funny too. I think he was a worthy successor for Chris Elliott's Hansen. Plays like the kooky old president. Mr. President, have you gone insane? Like a fox. And they shotgun Mother Teresa's portrait to escape. Yeah, it's really funny. Tom Kenny like also plays the aliens. I thought they got Roger L. Jackson to also voice Samara, because once again, it kind of sounds like him. Yeah, it sounds like Roger L. Jackson, but it might not be him. He does his Ghostface voice for Samara, or whoever's voicing Samara. Samara's the one who contacts them, telling them that she'll kill in 7 days. We do kind of adhere to the Ring story very faithfully, along with Signs. It turns out the aliens are actually good guys. The aliens saw the haunted videotape too and have came here to help. They want to stop the evil ghost child, really Samara. And Cindy is trying to crack the mystery. Once again, a lot of funny stuff happens here. Brenda actually dies really early in the film. Yeah, Brenda kind of joins the same club as Master Shake, Eustace Bagg, and Waspinator and Kenny McCormick, being a character who dies in every story ever. Brenda gets killed in a lot of these movies and miraculously comes back alive and well in each and every sequel. Yeah, Brenda surprisingly dies halfway through. She has a fist fight with Samara, but ends up dead. And I brought this up because I love the funeral scene where Simon Rex and Anthony Anderson go to Brenda's funeral to pay their respects, and through a hilarious misunderstanding, they believe she's awake. Brenda's awake. Your teacher's alive. And they get into a fight with all the mourners and family there and hilariously try to revive her. He electrocutes her and Anthony Anderson because he's on top of her. Yeah, my point is, a lot of funny jokes here. Cindy eventually cracks the mystery. She tracks down the parent of Samara, who's the architect from The Matrix. Kind of weird we got a whole bunch of Matrix references in these movies. It was funny in the first one because it came out of nowhere. Here, it was really tied to the plot, and yes, I am aware there is an alternate ending where they have a Matrix fight against Samara. Both Cindy and her love interest Simon Rex have a slow-mo fight with her. I am kind of glad they changed that to being more faithful to the actual ring. They find out she died on the farm. Her corpse is buried in the well on the farm, and she's haunting there until she can rest in peace, and basically, it kind of has an actual character arc here. Cindy learns to be a better, stronger mother figure for Cody. Simon Rex's character grows to mature and be an actual responsible adult. And Cody has a found family with both Cindy and her love interest. They hilariously try to accept Samara into their family. I do love the fake out. Thank you. With your love, you've finally broken the curse. Really? Nah, I'm just screwing with ya. He goes full demon mode, and Leslie Nielsen saves the day with a reference. I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you. So, if you don't know, if you're not a pop culture enthusiast like me and some of my audience, this was a reference to the Airplane parody. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen said this exact quote in Airplane, and it was like one of his most famous jokes. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen saves the day. He accidentally knocks Samara into the well, and they seal her up for good. Yeah, they all get a happy ending. The Earth is saved. The farm is good again. Cindy and Simon Rex finally get married, and they accidentally run over Cody. No, they don't run over him. They actually stop the car. Then he gets hit by a bus, Final Destination style. Yeah, this one, honestly underrated. I found it pretty funny. Yes, it is not as good as Scary Movie 1 and 2. I know these two are comedy perfection, but 3 honestly isn't half bad. I would dare say it's actually a good comedy movie. A lot of hilarious jokes, a lot of insane slapstick situations, a lot of the humor from the first two is carried over. I am sad that the Wayans brothers were kind of dumped out of this one, but Cindy and Brenda actually prove that they can entertain and hold the movie on their own, and Leslie Nielsen, yeah, that guy's a comedy legend, and he still holds his own in this movie as a crazy president. Leslie Nielsen is definitely a comedy legend. Shame he's not around anymore. Yeah, I agree. Leslie Nielsen is awesome. I miss him already, though thankfully he went out on a high note. Loved him on Superhero Movie as Uncle Ben. Yeah, if I ever talk about that movie, one of my biggest praises is Leslie Nielsen as Uncle Ben on Superhero Movie. One of his best performances ever. But yeah, Scary Movie 3, pretty underrated. Really like it, really enjoy it. It does carry on the spirit of the first two, which is why I defend it. I will fight and say it is the last good Scary Movie. Unfortunately, I cannot say that about the follow-up movies. Alright, now we're gonna get into some negative territory. So, after Scary Movie proved to be such a groundbreaking success for comedy and gave us, honestly, a lot of good films, a lot of good parodies and spoof titles, unfortunately, the magic didn't last forever. They started getting bad. This is where Seltzerberg's movies really came into play. A lot of cheap attempts at mimicking the success of the Scary Movie trilogy, and unfortunately, the original Saga was not safe from this either, with Scary Movie 4. Scary Movie 4 is the first bad Scary Movie flick. However, I will defend there are some funny jokes here, but this one is going down on meh. Yeah, okay, so I don't hate this one as much as other people do, but I can see why people hate it. There are some jokes that aren't funny. This one lost a lot of the mojo the original trilogy had. It is much more PG-13. Yeah, you heard that right. PG-13 scary movie. They stopped being R-rated. Yes, I know there is an unrated cut, but honestly, we only get more swear words. There's not as many sex jokes, cusses, or insanely deranged stuff that you could not pull today. Scary Movie 4 is kind of watered down. This one is a parody of Saw, The Grudge, The Village, and for some reason, War of the Worlds. Yeah, War of the Worlds is the big movie they parody in this one, and is War of the Worlds even a horror movie? Like, my dad and I saw this movie together, and even my dad called BS that War of the Worlds wasn't a horror tale. This also has Cindy's most boring love interest, Tom. Tom is a parody of Tom Cruise because he's the father from War of the Worlds. Jigsaw is in this, and he's easily the funniest character here. Leslie Nielsen comes back. He has a few funny moments. I love the UN scene. That is the highlight of this film, but weirdly, he kind of disappears halfway through. Leslie Nielsen is not as important here as he was in the third one, which is a darn shame. Cindy and Brenda are the only characters to come back. Charlie Sheen comes back, and he's kind of the opening kill of this movie. Yeah, out of all the characters to come back, they brought Charlie Sheen. He has a hilarious scene where he accidentally tries to overdose, but he ate Viagra, and it gives him this gigantic balloon penis. He's like trying to make it go down and falls over and is impaled on his crotch. Yeah, that is kind of funny, but yeah, Charlie Sheen is killed off early, and sadly, Simon Rex is also killed off. Simon Rex's character died in a flashback. They do a parody of that Hilary Swank movie, the boxer one, and he dies like breaking his neck along with half the stadium. Still better than 5. Yeah, it is. Catch up on comments. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen, a comedy legend. He is in this one. He has the funniest scenes, but sadly they're kind of short, and he's not a main character like he was in 3. Yeah, that is one of the biggest downgrades of 4. Leslie Nielsen is a side character in this one, and not as important as he was in the third film. He appears, has some funny jokes. He's like listening to Goodnight Moon like George W. Bush, and the UN scene, easily the highlight of this film. He gets one of the alien weapons and it can vaporize their clothes, and he accidentally vaporizes his own clothes and walks around naked and his old man dick swinging around. Then he accidentally knocks all the clothes off of the UN. Yeah, that is definitely the highlight of this movie. Unfortunately, Tom is not a very strong character. Tom is kind of a blatant knockoff of Simon Rex's character. He's also this doofy guy. He's a single father trying to take care of his kids. Again, doing a lot of War of the Worlds stuff. I do love that he accidentally bruises and abuses his little girl. He I'm a caring dad, and he accidentally knocks his daughter out, sends her flying, hits her with the car door, beats her up by accident a few times, and clearly neglects his kids. Yeah, he does all his spiel about, I care about my kids, I'm a good father, and he accidentally hurts them all the time. His character arc is kind of becoming a man, growing up, and being a better father. It's almost nice, but again, it's kind of a shallow parody. I just arrived. If you did too, you know there was a deleted scene involving Sydney, right? I do. There's a lot of deleted scenes from Scary Movies 1 to 3. Yeah, sorry you missed it. All 1, 2, and 3 even made it up on S tier. We're on movie 4 right now, which is our first meh. Okay, so this is not the worst movie in the world. Honestly, I would not argue if you actually love it, if you do consider it a good movie. There are good jokes here, but there's also a downgrade in quality. Some jokes do not work. Some did not make me laugh out loud. Some were meh. I do like the Asian real estate guy trying to sell the Grudge house and hilariously fumbling and Sydney being dumb enough to fall for it. Now, once again, Sydney is parroting a Sarah Michelle Gellar character. She's Sarah Michelle's character from the Grudge movie. She talks to the Ghost Boy. The Ghost Boy almost has some funny scenes, but isn't as involved as the trailers would trick you into believing. They actually made Jigsaw pretty funny. Yeah, Jigsaw is actually the Billy puppet, and he's an alien. Yeah, the big twist is the aliens from War of the Worlds are actually Billy and the Saw puppets. It turns out he's invading the Earth because he's pissed off that the Earth caused his son to die. The alien mated with the woman from The Grudge, and she gave birth to a ghost child. The child was killed because Sydney got into a fiasco at the women's boxing championship and caused a lot of deaths at her boxing. A lot of people broke their necks, some hilariously so, but yeah, one of the casualties was the little kid, and the father and his alien forces are invading to get revenge on human society and punishing them for failing his child. Yeah, it is kind of a crazy movie. It's a little funny. The village segment has its funny moments, but it kind of drags on. They brought Bill Pullman, and he's barely funny in this. Bill Pullman doesn't get too many lines in this. He actually plays his character kind of dead serious. Carmen Electra comes back, and so does Chris Elliott. I thought they were also funny characters. Yeah, Carmen Electra is Bryce Dallas Howard's blind girl, and Chris Elliott is the town idiot. He's like the village idiot. He's, once again, a retarded character, but I do love them. Hey, shall we have a foot race? Okay, you're on. And they both knock themselves out. Yeah, Carmen Electra gets an underwear scene. Not as good as Scary Movie 1, but it's alright. Carmen Electra is fine. She's hot at AF. I really like her, but she didn't really get to do much in this one. Chris Elliott, once again, kind of steals the show. He plays the village idiot. He's the retarded character from M. Night's The Village, and he also has some funny scenes. Who the hell let his ass out of jail? It was his brother, the sheriff. They're both like Beavis and Butthead. Hi everyone, AV Scorpio. Definitely a mixed bag. When the jokes work, they work. When they don't, it's pretty meh. Yeah, there are some misses in the jokes. I did not find Kevin Hart super funny in this one. I found him hilarious in 3. Here he has some good lines, but they do this weird Brokeback Mountain scene, and it's also kind of bizarre. Anthony Anderson did make me laugh. He thinks, oh no, the world's turned into zombies! Look what they did to my grandma! He beats the hell out of his old lady and throws her in the sewer. Yeah, some funny jokes, some that don't work. A lot of the sex jokes I honestly found kind of missed. Yeah, there were some weird ones. Brenda is a lot more annoying in this one. She's kind of a woman child. She's very immature and for some reason sleeps around a lot. Yeah, kind of weird when you remember she had a boyfriend in the first 2 movies. Yeah, Brenda's kind of a whore, sleeping with half the characters. Leslie Nielsen hooks up with a duck. Yeah, it didn't make me laugh back then either. The Jigsaw one was kind of funny, but a lot of the jokes were very obvious. I think the intro is the biggest highlight of what a mixed bag this is, where Shaquille O'Neal and Dr. Phil are put in the Jigsaw test, and Shaq hits his head on the ceiling because, Shaq is 12 feet tall, who didn't see that coming? It worked in the past movies because you don't see the jokes coming. I do like that Dr. Phil sawed off the wrong foot. That one did get a laugh out of me and bro, but some jokes also kind of low-hanging fruit. Shaq has to defeat the Jigsaw trap by throwing a free throw. Yeah, because Shaquille O'Neal sucks at free throws. If you watch basketball, you know that, but if you don't, then you might be really confused by it. Yeah, Shaq has to make a free throw to hit the lever to release, the saws to help them escape. Yeah, it is much better than 5, believe me. We have some words to say about 5. Sorry I'm late, I haven't gotten notifications with it. Yeah, YouTube's been screwing up on those. Not really, it's more sci-fi. Okay, thank you, Shadowlink. I thought War of the Worlds was sci-fi. Yeah, apparently Someone counted War of the Worlds as a horror movie, and that's the big movie they kind of parody. Yeah, we do a lot of War of the Worlds scenes. The city is attacked by tripods. The one scene I did find funny with this, I did not find the iPod scene very funny, but I did find Brenda's report on this. Weirdly, Brenda's a reporter now instead of Cindy, and I love this joke. Look, here's the city of Detroit, and Detroit is completely destroyed on fire. Now here's the city of Detroit attacked by aliens, and it's pretty much the same, but with the tripods walking around shooting it up. Yeah, jokes like that really work. There are some funny ones, but also some low-hanging ones. The Michael Jackson joke comes back, and it's honestly not as funny as when they did in the last movie. Michael Jackson is like trying to get Tom's little girl, and kind of weird. Michael Madsen comes here, and he's also kind of a weird homeless guy. Yeah, Michael Madsen, Mr. Blonde, is in this movie, and weirdly, he's not funny. He's like this weird conspiracy nut hobo guy who takes the family in. He's supposed to be the character, like Tim Robbins' character from the War of the Worlds, but they honestly don't do much with it. Yeah, they really don't do anything with it. Michael Madsen barely does anything in his one big role. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen was only in like 2 scenes, though both were still funny. I agree. Carmen Electra returns. Yeah, she does. She's the blind girl, Bryce Dallas Howard's character from The Village. She also is pretty hot, but not as hot as she was in the first one. In the first one, she was like a sex icon. In this one, we do see her get down to her underwear, but it's really nothing. Sorry, that's my phone. Yeah, like Carmen Electra, at least she gets to live at the end of this movie, but really disappointed they didn't do too much with her. Yeah, that's what I have issue with a lot of them. They have some good characters and good actors here, but they don't do too much with them. Little John or Lil Wayne, the guy who keeps showing up in these movies, has a cameo here. They, like, knock him out and take his car. It's almost funny, but it goes for, like, a really low Three Stooges slapstick. Some jokes are just not really good, and this comes to a head when they get captured by Jigsaw. He takes them to his mothership, the tripod, and puts them in a saw death trap. Like, I built this device just for you, Tom. I call it the Nutcracker. Why? Of course. Really? We have another kick in the groin joke? We've been, like, doing those in all 4 of these movies now. $1 Million Baby. Okay, that was the movie. Thank you, Shadowlink. Yeah, Million Dollar Baby, that's the boxing movie where the female boxer, like, broke her neck and got crippled from the stool. Here, they kind of turn into funnier. The husband broke his neck on a stool and died. Yeah, sadly, they kill off Simon Rex's character, which is kind of a shame, but unfortunately, Simon Rex would come back in one of the worst sequels. But yeah, he's gone, and Tom becomes her new love interest. Camping gay love scene. Yeah, the Brokeback Mountain scene. That one starts out pretty funny. I do like the singing at first, but kind of takes a weird turn. Yeah, Anthony Anderson and Kevin Hart doing it. Do you guys really want that image in your head? Fun fact, the bathroom scene was reused for Saw 2. Yeah, they reference the opening where the key is behind Cindy's eye, and kind of a gross out joke. It didn't really make me barf, but it's kind of cringy. She, like, gouges her eye out, but it's like a fake glass eye. Fake eye. Bad fight in Mardi Gras 96. Yeah, she easily gets the key out of her eye socket, which I see what they're going for, but it's not, like, laugh out loud funny. And hilariously, Jigsaw's ultimate death trap just kind of does, like, childish bullying moves on Tom. He, like, gets the ultimate purple nurple, which didn't really make me laugh. It just looked really painful. And he also gets a wet willy and kicked in the balls a lot. But yeah, Tom proves himself that he's a good father and teaches Jigsaw the meaning of life and how good parenting matters, that love is vital for parenting. And yeah, Jigsaw's heart grows 3 sizes that day, and he decides, yeah, he's done with the invasion, and I'm sorry for killing millions of people. What did you say? Say it louder. I'm sorry for killing millions of people. Whatever. It's almost funny, but feels kind of like a lazy way to wrap up the movie. Yeah, Jigsaw realizes what love actually is and changes his ways, and Brenda accidentally kills the aliens by having sex with one of them. Yeah, one of his henchmen has sex with Brenda, and haha, they get diseases like the aliens from War of the Worlds, and they all die. Yeah, the bathroom scene was the actual bathroom from the Saw movies. I heard somebody say it was the same set from the real Saw movies with John Kramer. Or I should say Tobin Bell. Good grief, these people are all naked. Have they no shame? Have they no decency? Sir, you're naked too. I am? Well, I thought this was a fuzzy leather coat. No, these are not buttons? No, I've been pulling this thing up and down like a zipper. Leslie Nielsen, you will be missed. Yeah, the president is the highlight of this movie. Unfortunately, he's not as strong here as he was in the third movie and has a lot less screen time. Anna Faris really tries. I do think Anna Faris is still funny, but they give so much screen time to her love interest. Tom, who is a mocking parody of Tom Cruise, and even back then, people felt like this was low-hanging fruit, too easy, too very standard. He's a knockoff for Tom Cruise, and even at the end of the movie, they end on him doing his weird jumping on the couch on the Oprah show, like, I'm in love with Cindy Campbell, and he is just kind of cringy here. He's like going crazy. He breaks like Oprah's arms and accidentally punches out Anna Faris and is swinging on like ropes. It honestly didn't really make me laugh. Like, I know what they're going for, but I think they could have did a lot funnier stuff with this, but they just kind of overdo it, and it's just him shouting and acting crazy. Also, the deleted scene I'm talking about was the bathtub scene from What Lies Beneath, where Cindy stretches her foot like she was Mr. Fantastic trying to get help. Certain fans love that scene. Yeah, I'm talking about the foot fetish again, Anime Night. Why do you always bring that up? Fun fact, the bathroom was reused for Saw 2. And weirdly enough, they got James Earl Jones doing the narration of this movie. Yeah, because we carry off the whole somebody gets hit by a vehicle at the end of these parody movies. It turns out James Earl Jones was doing the speeches and monologues in this movie, and it is kind of funny seeing him here, but yeah, James Earl Jones does a speech about how love and compassion matter to make a functional society, and he's hit by a bus. This would have been funny if they were parodying Final Destination, but it didn't really feel like it. It felt like they were just doing that because somebody always dies getting ran over by something. No, I meant the bathroom set for the film was reused for the second Saw film rather than rebuilding it. Oh, okay. So, wow, Scary Movie actually had a Saw set that they gave to an official Saw movie. That is pretty cool. Sorry, got a text. Just answering quickly. Alright. Yeah, okay, thank you for that. Okay, so Saw actually used a set from a Scary Movie parody. That is pretty funny. Superhero Movie honestly did a better Tom Cruise parody. Oh yeah, when he was doing his YouTube stint. I can fly. This just in, Tom Cruise is dead. Could not fly. Yeah, that was better. Superhero Movie, much funnier than Scary Movie 4. Honestly, I think Epic Movie was better than Scary Movie 4. 4 does have some good jokes, I won't deny that. I could see people loving this movie. The Tom Cruise character kind of got on my nerves a lot more. He had some funny moments, but his jokes all kind of felt the same. He's a bad father, he accidentally hurts his kids, he accidentally says stupid stuff, and every time he tries to be useful, he epic fails. It's a watered-down version of Simon Rex's character from Scary Movie 3. Yet, it doesn't help that he also hogs a lot of screen time. Because they're doing War of the Worlds, he's kind of the real main protagonist here, while Cindy is still present, but she's sidelined a lot more in this one. Which is a shame because Anna Faris is definitely trying in this movie. They brought back Brenda, and the two girls get into a lot of wacky adventures together. I'm convinced they will be the highlight of Scary Movie 6. Cindy and Brenda are both hilarious together and have a lot of great chemistry. Unfortunately, they're not in the spotlight long enough, and neither is Leslie Nielsen, who is like one of the best characters in these movies. Yeah, they sidelined a lot of the good characters, tried their hand at some new characters. Most of them either end up dead or severely underdeveloped or uninteresting, especially next to the legacy characters. And yeah, the movie parodies are a lot more shallow here. They aren't making fun of the movies, they're just having like stupid like Three Stooges and Ed, Ed and Eddie hijinks in them, rather than calling them out like the first three movies did. Scary Movie 4, it's a middling movie. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but also not super good. I rewatched this one the least because the original trilogy is that fantastic. Scary Movie 4 is a meh. Alright, we're going to take a bathroom break for me shortly, but get excited for Scary Movie 5. Type in all your comments in the comment section below or the chat. I'll be right back. Get excited for the 5th movie, which doesn't even have Anna Faris in it. BRB. What's up? Hey, Wolfpack, we're back. Sorry it took me so long. Yeah, excited for the worst one. Alright. Scary Movie 5. After 4 kind of killed the franchise, I don't think 4 is to blame. I blame it more on the Seltzerberg movies. The parody movie craze was starting to die down, but they tried to bring Scary Movie back with a whole new reboot. Ironically, a sequel, Scary Movie 5. And it sucked. It is trash. This is, pause down, the worst scary movie in the entire saga. I think people are excited for movie 6 because it will probably be much better than what Scary Movie 5 turned out to be. Yeah, so Scary Movie 5 is a sort of soft reboot for the Scary Movie saga. None of the original actors came back. Well, technically 2 of them do, but they're playing new characters. Anna Faris and Regina Hall, they are gone now too. They got rid of the Wayans brothers, they got rid of Leslie Nielsen, and they got rid of the 2 stars, both the final girls. Regina Hall and Anna Faris did not come back to this one, and honestly, they dodged a bullet. Instead, we have Ashley Tisdale, who is amazingly unfunny in this. Ashley Tisdale plays Candace, the annoying sister from Phineas and Ferb, and it is astounding how unfunny she is here. Simon Rex comes back, he plays a new character. He's not the same guy from 3 and 4. He's the stay-at-home dad. Simon Rex and Ashley Tisdale play the main characters. They're a couple who want to raise a family to call their own. This one does a parody of Mama, the Paranormal Activity movies, and I'm trying to remember the third one. I think Evil Dead is also thrown in here somewhere. Yeah, Black Swan. Black Swan, also the Jennifer Lawrence ballerina horror movie. I found that more of a suspenseful thriller rather than a horror movie. But yeah, Scary Movie 5, it sucks. They quadrupled down on all the worst elements from the original saga, and replace all the characters you like with a lot of cheap knockoffs of them. The main girl is pretty much Cindy Campbell, and she gets a best friend who's of course a sassy, strong, independent black woman who is blatantly Brenda, but they recasted both of them. Hey, sorry I'm late. Oh, James, you made it just in time for Scary Movie 5. You missed us talk about the good ones. The original trilogy is S tier, 4 is meh, and 5, super trash, on Ashley Tisdale's epic masterpiece. Planet of the Apes. Yeah, that's right, Caesar was in this movie. Why? What, was Planet of the Apes even a horror movie? I don't really think it was. And while those actual movies were enjoyable, this movie that parodies them was not. Yeah, it parodies actual good scary movies very, very shallowly, too. These are super shallow takes on these horror movies. So, what made the first three good is that they were poking fun of iconic moments, plot holes, and some criticisms and praises that the movies they were mocking had. Here, it's kind of lazy, superficial, and really nothing. There's barely any funny moments here. They quadruple down on the gross out, and once again, it's a PG-13 scary movie, so the jokes aren't risky, they don't go as far, they're not as in your face as, honestly, the last 4 movies were. Yeah, Caesar's here, he plays, it's kind of lazy that they have like a guy in a gorilla suit, and obviously fake suit. They could have made fun of this, but they oddly don't. Yeah, basically, we mostly do Mama and the Paranormal Activity movies, so the opening has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan are making a sex tape. Feel free to vomit, and weirdly they're playing themselves. They're not characters, they're actually themselves. Like Lindsay Lohan is trying to make a comeback and Charlie Sheen offers to help with a sex tape. Yeah, really. But then they get haunted and attacked by Mama. Mama is a horror movie, I believe, made by Guillermo del Toro. I've actually never seen this movie, so tragically, this was my intro to that. Yeah, I heard good things about Mama, so I won't say anything bad about it, but it did not really tell me too much about it, other than there's a ghost mom haunting the parents. Weren't 3, 4, and 5 done by Aaron Seltzer and Jason Friedberg? Seltzer and Friedberg worked on the original 4. They didn't work on 5. Yep, Seltzerberg went on and did their own things. They did the epic movie, Meet the Spartans disaster movie. I thought Hungover Games was actually pretty funny. Also, I forgot to mention that a friend of mine told me when he saw the Jenny character from the third film scratching her head with his foot, he wished he did that to him. Well, Jenny McCarthy is a perfect 10. The only moment that gave me a chuckle is when the girl who acted like a dog was given treats from a puppy to a plasma TV. Don't forget Date Movie. Oh, that's right, Date Movie. Date Movie honestly did have some funny moments, but I'll talk about that if I do a whole parody movie tier list. But yeah, Date Movie was actually one of Seltzerberg's more successful films. Meet the Spartans and Disaster Movie, those got bad, and they also did a Hunger Games parody, which was not good. Hungover Games, that one was actually pretty decent, but there was like a second one. But yeah, Seltzerberg did a lot of these movies. Believe it or not, they did not come back for 5, which is astounding because it sure feels like one of their crappier productions. Scary Movie 5 is cheap. And I mean like really cheap. It's cheap to look at, it's cheaply acted, a lot of cheap effects, a lot of cheap like monster suits. The Caesar is a character here, Caesar from Planet of the Apes, which isn't even a horror franchise. The Caesar basically gets the crap beaten out of him, he suffers a lot of slapstick. Simon Rex is in here, he's like playing this like cuck goofy father. He's trying to be a good dad. Ashley Tisdale is trying to be a strong independent woman. She's a free spirit even though she's like a grown-ass adult. She like wears a wig and fake tattoos and plays in like a rock band. Yeah, I know Ashley Tisdale can sing, but weirdly, they never have her sing here. She tries to get back in touch with her feminine side and becomes a ballet dancer and befriends a sassy black woman who's kind of kooky and weird. Yeah, this is supposed to be a stand-in for both Cindy and Brenda. They're both shallow knockoff versions of them and don't have any of the charm, charisma, or likability. Ashley Tisdale is a total bitch in this movie. Yet not in real life, don't misquote me there, but yeah, Tisdale is amazingly unfunny here. Hey kids, do you want to see Candace from Phineas and Ferb talk about her vagina? No? Well, then you have good taste. Vampires suck. Oh yeah, Seltzerberg did do that too. That was the one that kind of killed their career. Don't forget Epic Movie. Yeah, I actually do like Epic Movie. I have some positives to say about that. I think Epic Movie was Seltzerberg's last good movie. Unfortunately, after Meet the Spartans, they fell off hard. Some people told me that their direct-to-video stuff actually improved, but I have not seen them because Disaster Movie kind of poisoned them for me. I wager that the sixth one will be a parody of Final Destination Bloodlines and Weapons. That would be pretty interesting, but Marlon Wayans was implying he was gonna do Nope and Jordan Peele's Us. I wouldn't mind, but those films kind of came out a while ago by now. Yeah, Scary Movie 6 has a lot of content to work with. Also, I would say they should probably do it. Like, bring back some characters from over the course of the saga. Like, we see characters from 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5 if they're generous. Sorry, get some water. Alright. So anyways, 5, it's not really funny. The jokes are very baby safe, very kindergarten. There is some shock value here, but it's all gross out. Like the Evil Dead parody almost was funny, but ended up being a lot more gross and a lot of focus on the body horror. Ashley Tisdale, not really likable. She's a mom who doesn't want to have kids, but slowly grows to care about the kids, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, even in the early movies, I know these aren't really deep films, but Cindy and her friends growing as people was actually well written for these films. There actually was a sense of character development, growth, or learning a lesson by the end of all it. Here, nothing. Ashley Tisdale is a bitch for the first half of this movie. Then she suddenly decides she likes the kids. There's this old Hispanic nanny who also gets into a lot of gross outs. We see, did you ever want to see an elderly nanny in a two-piece swimsuit? No, good for you. We see it anyway. Then she reveals that she has a crush on Simon Rex ever since she started working for him because he reminds her of her dad. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid and gross jokes like that all over here. Okay, so the funniest scene I found in Scary Movie 5, there is one funny scene, and that's the pool party with all the vacuums, like all the pool vacuums and pool cleaners. Like, not the people, the devices all show up and like throw a wild kegger in the mansion's backyard. That is the sole funny scene in this entire thing. I really like that. That was actually pretty funny. Yeah, it really says a lot that the funniest moment in here has none of the actual actors involved in it. Like, none of the actors show up, are talking, or interacting with them. It's all these inanimate objects and these pool cleaners showing up, drinking beer, having pool parties and dances, and listening to rap music. That is the funniest scene in this entire thing. At least Ashley Tisdale is back as Candace on Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, thankfully, she had something good to fall back on. If Ashley Tisdale didn't star in Phineas and Ferb, this movie would have killed her career. She is not funny, and worst of all, she's not really likable. She's annoying, obnoxious, complains all the time, and doesn't really suffer as much slapstick as Anna Faris does. Say what you will about the other movies, but Anna Faris was directly involved. She got involved in a lot of action scenes. Tisdale doesn't even have that. Worst of all, Mama is not even a character. Mama shows up in the background a few times, being creepy, has a few funny jokes. One of the kids she wants to get back is, like, acting like a dog. It's almost funny, but then she, like, humps Ashley Tisdale's leg. Yeah, once again, kind of immature humor rather than going all out with the jokes. So, basically, Tisdale learns to love her kids and confronts Mama. Mama has not even said a single word in this movie, making her easily the worst villain in this. Yeah, the last 4 movies actually had good villains. Like, Scary Movie 1 had Ghostface, 2 had Richard Mole and Chris Elliott playing these goofy characters, 3 had the aliens and Samara, 4 had Jigsaw, and 5 has a mute ghost mother. Yeah, she doesn't really say anything. She ends up falling off the cliff alone and gets drowned in Snoop Dogg's tank with the shark. Yeah, Snoop Dogg appeared in the movie and he found the kids, got a big reward, and he shows up at the end to come full circle driving his yacht with a shark tank on board, and Mama gets eaten by a shark. Which doesn't make any sense when you remember that she's a ghost. Yeah, this one is bad. It is bad. It's slow. It's unfunny. Has a lot of random scenes that come out of nowhere that never connect and feels like a bunch of skits that were turned into a movie. Like, Ashley Tisdale falls in love with her black best friend and they have like a lesbian moment. And then it's never brought up ever again. It turns out her best friend like sleeps with half the ballet class and yeah, never brought up ever again. It's like just a weird joke and don't get your hopes up, guys. The lesbian scene, also not really hot. Ashley Tisdale is not very sexy, especially compared to Carmen Electra and Anna Faris. Yet we have friggin' Pamela Anderson and Carmen Electra in these movies, and her hot chick is now Ashley Tisdale. Fail movie, big fail. But speaking of which, the comedy also really sucks. A lot more juvenile jokes, and the twist ending is also really lame. No one gets run over by anything, but it turns out this was all being narrated to us by Caesar from Planet of the Apes, telling you that humanity is now going to die because they're addicted to crappy entertainment like this. Sorry, I tried to do my Doug Walker impression, but yeah, sucks. It sucks. This movie is so bad that it killed the franchise, and a lot of people are thrilled Scary Movie 6 is on the way, but it really says a lot that there is a huge time gap between 6 and this one. Scary Movie 5 is trash. No, not just trash, it's super trash. But because I want to end things on a high note, we have a bonus round. We have one more on this tier list. If you can't read, it's Stan Helsing. You know how I always say I'm not getting involved? Well, I'm getting involved. Yes, we are counting Stan Helsing on this tier list. Why? Because I need something decent to end on outside of Scary Movie 5. Stan Helsing is a quote-unquote spin-off of the Scary Movie saga. This was not made by Seltzerberg, it was made by one of the writers from the original 2 movies. He decided to try and save the franchise with his own original parody movie, taking place in the Scary Movie parody universe, and that is Stan Helsing. You're Van Helsing. No, it's Stan Helsing. Yes, we got Stan Helsing on here, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I honestly thought this one was pretty good. This one is pretty underrated. Now, no, it is not as good as the original trilogy of Scary Movies, but trust me when I say it is much funnier than the last 2. I love this one a lot more than Scary Movie 4 and 5, which is why Stan Helsing's going on to pretty good. Yeah, I think that's fair. I won't piss off too many people, but I do watch this one a lot more than Scary Movie 4 because I honestly found it pretty underrated. I heard Jessica Rabbit is getting a Disney movie, but remember, modern Disney. Yeah, it's gonna suck. I believe you. Didn't Leslie Nielsen play a weird waitress who gave Stan an outfit or something? Yes, Leslie Nielsen comes back in this movie. He's the only former actor who comes back, and don't get excited, he's not playing the president. He's playing an old lady waitress, and it's kept kind of vague if this guy's a cross-dresser or if we're supposed to believe he's an actual woman. I do believe that they are leaning towards he's an actual woman who looks like an old man in drag, but yeah. This one does not star any of the past characters. We have a whole new cast. We have Stan Helsing and his friends. There's like a dumb blonde girl. I love Diora Bird. Diora Bird is super sexy in this one. She's the hot love interest. And Kenan Thompson from All That and Good Burger and Kenan and Kel plays the wacky best friend. Yeah, they finally got the right idea. Let's hire some actual comedians. We got two funny guys and two hot chicks. Basically, Stan Helsing works in a crappy video store, and his boss demands that he makes a delivery. Stan Helsing and his friends want to go to a Halloween party, but get sidetracked delivering these special order videos to a client who lives in a haunted gated community on the other side of town, where they bump into famous horror movie monsters. This one parodies old scary movies. Not anything current generation, old generation. Stan Helsing and his friends bump into a lot of iconic horror movie monsters and scenarios. They're chased by Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Chucky the Killer Doll, Leatherface, and Pinhead. Yeah, no small names here. So, I will say this one actually kind of slows things down. It's not as fast paced as the other scary movies. This one tried to take things a lot more slowly, aims for a more kind of Shaun of the Dead style parody. It's a lot slower, not 1,000 jokes rushing out at you, and the characters actually get time to shine in this movie. The Wayans brothers do like the two haunted house parodies. I still have to see those. Sorry they weren't on here. The rights for Roger Rabbit had returned to the OG writers. Good, then Disney can't screw it up. Okay, so if you don't know Stan Helsing, they take a detour delivering these videos only to get into a lot of wacky scenarios and horror movie shenanigans. I love Deora Bird. She was the reason I bought this movie. Yeah, I make no apologies. She was hot. I was into her. She is the sexy chick on the cover. Deora Bird would go on to play the sexy mom on Cobra Kai, and honestly, she was actually pretty funny in this movie. There's also this goofy, dumb blonde girl. I believe Desi Lydic is the actress's name. She plays like this dumb blonde bimbo who gets into a lot of wacky scenarios. They try to emulate Cindy through her, but she's more of a side character. But Stan Helsing, actually pretty funny. Stan Helsing is a jerk who slowly grows a moral compass and becomes a nice guy hero, like his ancestor Van Helsing. And Kenan Thompson plays the wacky fat best friend. Kenan Thompson is actually funny, and he's actually pretty funny here, though I will warn you, it's kind of weird hearing Kenan from Kenan and Kel using cuss words. The OG book writer. Okay. Okay, there are some hopes. Good. Roger Rabbit is going to someone competent. Yeah, Disney hasn't done anything with the Roger Rabbit property outside of fixing their stupid rides. Yeah, Jessica Rabbit's getting a movie, and knowing modern Disney, I believe they're gonna fail. Like, Jessica Rabbit is not gonna be the sexy femme fatale we know from the original. They are likely gonna nerf her. Okay, so Stan Helsing, honestly found pretty funny. It's a very simple and straightforward plot. They get lost at this haunted community and a lot of wacky things happen. I wasn't really offended by anything bad. The worst jokes are kind of mediocre. Like, they stop at like a vampire strip club, call like a sexy vampire hotline, get chased by iconic horror movie monsters, make fun of some of their scenes. I like the Freddy scene a lot because Freddy Krueger's like claw is constantly changing. Like, his claws become like toothbrushes, his claws become like Mickey Mouse gloves. It is actually pretty insane. Yeah, they bump into a lot of horror movie characters, and there's actual character development here. Deora Bird's character is kind of also a bitch. She's cynical because she had a bad breakup with Stan. Stan is kind of a cowardly dick. He doesn't want to get involved, but slowly learns to care about people, does the right thing. Actually has kind of a hero's journey in this story, which I actually found kind of charming. He lightens up, learns to care, and finally gets involved, realizing that he is related to the legendary monster hunter Van Helsing. This town is in dire need of some help, and Stan is constantly accused of being his ancestor Van Helsing because he looks like Hugh Jackman. Disney hasn't done anything with the Muppets. Yeah, that is really weird. What's my weakness? Or, you don't know my weakness? Dude, you're a doll. And they beat up Chucky so easily. Yeah, so basically Stan confronts the monsters, picks them off one by one, and he and his friends finally unite. The friends actually don't like each other at the start. They're all just sharing a carpool ride to the party. Nadine is his bitch ex-girlfriend. She lightens up, learns to care. Yet Diora Bird, hot AF, really like her. The dumb blonde girl learns to cherish them as her friends and true companions. Kenan Thompson grows a spine, and Stan Helsing becomes much braver. He becomes nicer. He, at first, kind of uses his friends, but then learns to care about them. They survive together. They find out that this is actually a monster porno studio. Yeah, he was like delivering monster porn for them, and he realizes, yeah, that the monsters are coming back for revenge. So, it leads to one of the most hilarious climaxes ever. Stan Helsing is absolutely saved by this crazy climax. They have a karaoke battle against the top 6 monsters. The monsters sing a hilarious YMCA song. Hey Stan, are gonna kill you now, cause hey Stan, we will kill all of you. We're here to kill S-T-A-N. We're here to kill S-T-A-N. Yeah, they sing like this Village People YMCA song. Though, I'm kind of amazed at how talented the cast is, because Stan and his friends actually sing some pretty good songs in this. There's a lot of karaoke scenes here because the bar has like a karaoke performance platform. Stan and his friends beat them in a sing-off, then they fight the monsters and beat them kind of hilariously. Like Freddy Krueger has like effeminate woman hands under his gloves after they expose him. He beats up Michael Myers and Jason by using their own masks against them, and Chucky the Killer Doll gets easily trounced because he's just a doll. It is pretty hilarious. Yeah, it's dumb, but it's my kind of dumb. The guy who played Jason in Freddy vs. Jason plays the Jason in the parody. Yeah, Mason. Yeah, they use like copyright friendly names of them. Yeah, they fight Teddy Krueger, they fight Chappie the Killer Doll, Michael Cryers, and Mason instead of Jason. Yeah, it's obvious who they're supposed to be, but that's how they got around it. That's a fun fact. Yeah, it is pretty funny that that guy came back to play Jason on the horror movie parody. So, I actually did grow to like the characters. A lot of people did not like Stan and his friends, but they actually undergo a pretty good journey. Stan becomes more noble, more of a hero. He does have funny moments because he's kind of like the cynical douche that the world craps all over. Kenan Thompson, he's funny. I mean, it's Kenan Thompson. Of course he's funny. Diora Bird, very hot, very attractive. Like her as the love interest. She has hilarious moments where she's caught in sexy poses. And Desi Lydic, pretty underrated. This is like one of her movie debut films, and she did a pretty good job. She plays like the attractive blonde bimbo character, always getting into trouble, but she has a good heart. Yeah, the characters actually grow as people, and that's something Scary Movie 5 Epic failed at. The characters actually develop throughout this movie, and they fight a lot of horror movie monsters. They mimic a lot of famous scenes. They go to a haunted house. They enter like a Scooby-Doo chase at one point. Yeah, they actually had a Scooby-Doo chase in this movie out of all of them. They do Freddy, do Jason. At one point, they even make fun of the tunnel scene from Jeepers Creepers. That made me laugh so hard. Like, they see Michael Cryers dump a dead body down, like, the sewer tube. They try going in there and end up falling on each other and compromising positions. Yeah, I would definitely say the Scary Movie humor definitely shines through at points in this one. Just to know where we'll be, Shriek what you did last Friday the 13th in the tier list, indulge me. I'm sorry, Batsmith, but I have not seen that movie in forever. I saw it once, but I need to rewatch it. I did rewatch all of these for this tier list to refresh my memory. I saw it like once a while ago, don't remember too much of it, but I don't remember it being very funny. If it was on this tier list, I might have to put it onto meh. had some good jokes I did laugh at, like how the Ghostface killer originally wore a Jason mask, but then he accidentally lit himself on fire. Then he gets it like melted into the Ghostface mask. That was pretty funny. Though Tom Arnold really held it back. He was not the best celebrity star to put in the film. So yeah, I might put that one on meh if I did rank these. I'll have to rewatch it. My memory could be faulty. I could change my views on it when I do the all parodies tier list. But yeah, for now we're talking about the main Scary Movie saga. Stan Helsing honestly really liked it. I thought it was underrated. I thought it had funny moments. It's a lot slower compared to the original trilogy, and it does have its flaws. There are some dud jokes here and there. They do the Michael Jackson joke again in this one, and sadly it was like around the time where Michael Jackson died, so it made it kind of more awkward. And a lot of jokes where they meet with this priest character and he's very sexual deviant made. Yeah, the priest jokes did not make me laugh as much, though the main characters, they are pretty funny, and the antics really hilarious. I do like that they're fighting the classic horror movie monsters we all know and love, like Freddy, Jason, etc. I didn't like Vampires Suck. Even Seltzerberg did that. Yeah, that one also sucked. Oh, you didn't like it? Okay. Or you did like it. It says didn't in the chat. Okay, so Stan Helsing, basically a lot of references to iconic horror movie scenes, a lot of Scooby-Doo chases. They even directly do a parody of a Scooby-Doo chase, and it has one of the silliest climaxes ever, but I think it actually made this movie great. Love the karaoke sing-off. Then Stan Helsing finally accepting his role as a monster hunter, and he has a hilarious battle with all the horror movie icons, where they're defeated in funny ways. Yeah, it is a huge take that towards like Freddy, Jason, and especially Chucky. This movie really loved making fun of Chucky the Killer Doll, but I really like it. Okay, you didn't. Alright. Yeah, Vampires Suck. I remember watching that once and not really laughing at it, which is a shame because it has Anakin Skywalker. Matt Lanter plays Edward Cullen. Poor Matt Lanter. You deserve so much more. You're in friggin' Clone Wars, for corn's sake. Okay, to wrap up, Stan Helsing, it's pretty good. I found it much funnier than Scary Movie 4 and 5, and I will defend that this is a dumb fun time. It is a decent spoof movie. Sadly, it did not re-spark the Scary Movie franchise, but it was the best Scary Movie I've seen in a long while. I will put it onto A tier because it is pretty good. Yeah, thankfully it had my other Scary Movie waifu, Diora Bird, but honestly, it's pretty entertaining. I would actually recommend checking this one out. I believe it's free on YouTube because the original studio went under, but yeah, Stan Helsing, it's pretty good overall. Twilight still sucks. Yes, it does. Oh, you liked it, but it did it worse than the actual Twilight. Yeah, no one playing trash. We'll have to wait and see if we do the other parody movies. Vampire Sucks, Bronze, Date Movie Silver, Superhero Movie Gold. Yeah, Superhero Movie is gold. Date Movie, I did find some funny moments in that. It does have highlights, but yeah, it was definitely one of the weaker parody movies. But as you can see, that completes our tier list. Talked about all the Scary Movie saga, plus Stan Helsing, which I found underrated, and wanted to have a positive end note after Scary Movie 5. But maybe Scary Movie 6 will be our positive end note next time. So, tell me guys if you in the chat or comments below if you want me to do a ranking on all the parody movies like the Scary Movie saga and even the Seltzerberg stuff like Date Movie, Epic Movie, Meet the Spartans, Disaster Movie, Vampire Sucks. I do like the Hungover games. I thought that one was actually decent, but yeah, you get it. All the other parody movies. Some of these lists actually include The Naked Gun and Airplane, and it would be nice to talk about those too. But yeah, tell me below if you want to see more rankings on the parody movies. For now, I settled on the Scary Movie saga because it's a lot closer to our usual horror gimmick. Well, horror comedy, but you get it. All the parodies, yes, please, please. Okay, James, I will. Though I do have to watch some. I unfortunately will have to rewatch Vampires Suck, and Don't worry, I will watch Shriek if I know what you did last Halloween the 13th, because it didn't make it on this tier list. I am looking forward to rewatching some of them. I do love the Hungover games, and I thought Epic Movie was actually alright. Yeah, it was flawed, but it had more funny moments than the later ones. Okay, a lot of people want me to do that. Okay. It will have to wait because I do have to watch them and I got other plans in store for us. But yeah, we'll consider that in the future. For now, this was my scary movie tier. So we'll go over it one last time for any of you late birds or for those of you who skip click to the end to see the ranking in full. What about superhero movie, Cat? That would go in comedy gold, James. Superhero movie is great. I love it. Yeah, that would go into comedy gold too. Might be above Scary Movie 1, honestly, but Scary Movie 2 definitely outclasses it. What do you think of Not Another Teen Movie? That would be S tier too. Love Not Another Teen Movie. Stars my favorite Yellow Ranger as one of her best roles. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Yeah, Not Another Teen Movie. I do love that one a lot. That would be an S tier also. That one is funny. Not as funny as the first two scary movies, but pretty decent, and it has a lot of good golden moments. Maya, my favorite Power Ranger, is also in it, and she was the reason why I even checked out that movie. Definitely worth it. But yeah, that would be S tier. It is a good movie even without her. Drake Bell was funny. Yeah, he was. Include Not Another Teen Movie. Yeah, definitely. That would probably be on there. Though, for some reason, a lot of these tier lists also add older parody movies like Naked Gun and Police Academy. I love the first Police Academy, but yeah, I would look for a tier list. I will add some if they don't have them, but yeah, if we do a whole parody spoof movies tier list, you can likely see a lot of the good ones and a lot of the Seltzerberg. But yeah, Not Another Teen Movie is S tier, and Superhero Movie, absolutely S tier. That is laugh out loud hilarious. Vampires Suck would probably be in trash, honestly. Had one or two good jokes, but not one of Seltzerberg's best. I think Epic Movie is underrated. Meet the Spartans, that is disappointing, and Disaster Movie, total trash. It isn't super trash. But yeah, we could talk about those more if we do the spoof movies in the future. A lot of people seem into it, so I might do just that. But for now, let's wrap up our scary movie tier list. So, we have one in super trash, and it is the most deserving, Scary Movie 5. This one sucks. It sucks so bad that it killed this franchise. That is how god-awful it is. It is F tier here, and if we do another spoof movies tier list, it'll be F tier in the future. It is that bad. Surprisingly, none in trash. Vampires Suck might end up here if we did that one, but yeah, none here on this tier list. In meh, we have Scary Movie 4, which, yeah, had some good jokes, had some decent zingers, but it was a lot weaker compared to what came before. I think it was a high sign that this franchise was starting to run on fumes because they were recycling jokes that were better in the stronger movies. 4 had some decent movies, decent jokes, decent scenes, but an equal amount of lame. It is meh. Then on A tier, pretty good, Stan Helsing. Yeah, I like it. Shoot me. I love this movie. I enjoy it. It's dumb fun. It's my kind of fun. Has a lot of fever dream-esque humor, but that's what kind of made it iconic and helped me discover Diora Bird. Yeah, this one, A tier. It's pretty good. But we have 3 in S tier. The top 3. Scary Movie 3. Yep, it's the last good scary movie. This is the last great one. It's Bossa Nova. This one makes me laugh so hard. You will absolutely find a joke or two you will absolutely laugh rolling on the floor at. It is that good. It's going on S tier. Scary Movie 1, yep, comedy classic. It made my top 10 best horror movie comedies of all time. That should tell you how good this is. But number 1 has to go to Scary Movie 2. They doubled down on all the strengths the original movie had. I love it more than the first. This is my favorite scary movie. Love the atmosphere, love the haunted house sets, love most of the jokes, love all the characters. Theo, definitely my scary movie waifu. And had Anna Faris fistfight a cat and the cat won, so that helped me with my love of it. Yeah, this is my #1 scary movie. It is comedy gold. Include Spaceballs. Yeah, that'll make it. I'll have to add a lot. Drake Bell was funny. Yeah, he was. He used to be great. Drake Bell was hilarious in a lot of stuff, particularly his show, Drake and Josh. But he was also good on Superhero Movie, where he started doing more adult comedies. Kind of wish his career didn't, nosedive off a cliff. Drake Bell got into some controversy. I heard he is kind of clearing the charges now, proving his innocence, but I won't offer much comment onto that, but Drake Bell kind of disappeared off the map for a while. Talk about Spaceballs. Yeah, Spaceballs is great. It is a comedy masterpiece. You know that would make it onto S tier too. That might be #1, honestly. That was my favorite line from Scary Movie 2. Scary Movie 2 had some good lines, honestly, really all over the place. But yeah, Scary Movie 2 is my #1 on my Scary Movie ranking. I love this one. I watch this one around every Halloween. Yeah, I know, I should watch both of them, but 2 is my favorite because I consider this the masterpiece of the Scary Movie saga. Scary Movie 2 may be the sequel, but it's my #1 scary movie. But that completes our tier list. Look, we could actually fit them all on here. Scary Movie 5, dead last. It is the worst. Scary Movie 2, definitely top quality. It is the best one. It is the most hilarious one. Love Chris Elliott as Hanson. My germs. Alright, but yeah, this completes our Scary Movie tier list. Thank you all for joining us. Based on the comments in chat, I might have to do another parody movies tier list, this time including all genres across the board. Spaceballs, Not Another Teen Movie, I Know What You Did, Last Friday the 13th, etc. Pretty much all of them. All the ones people know and remember, and maybe some obscure gems like Robin Hood, Men in Tights up there. Yeah, I might have to. Problem is, guys, I do have to watch them all. You do have to wait. I do have to see them all to make sure I have enough to say about them. And I have to make sure the tier list is perfect. It has all the names you want to see on there, has ones people actually know, and I do have to watch some obscure movies that you might have never heard of. Bye, everyone. Great video. Thanks, V Scorpio. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Alright, so I have made a new video. I talked about Tales from the Dark Side. My brother Wolf is doing all the Jack Klugman Twilight Zone episodes. We have Death Ship and a surprise Dark Side video up on Patreon already. Go check that out. What am I going to do in the future? I'm considering a crossover project right about now, but if you know, those take quite a bit of time because of the crossover partner. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing another special crossover event for another video. For now, I did our 666th video upcoming. It's on Patreon. Go check that out. My brother Wolf also talked about Jack Klugman's Twilight Zones. He's working on the last one, Passage for Trumpet, coming out soon. Look forward to that coming this Twilight Zone month. Yeah, who knew we would end up with another bonus Twilight Zone month? But yeah, we got projects on Patreon already. What'll be the next tier list? I am kind of thinking about that. I have to watch a few things. I was going to do some shows that people have been requesting. Ninja Turtles. I want to talk about another Ninja Turtles show, rank their characters. But again, I have to watch a lot of episodes. The Ninja Turtles were on for a long time, and there's a lot of episodes, especially from the great shows, like the 2000s ones and the Nickelodeon CGI one. I know a lot of people want me to talk about that, but again, I have to watch them. I might do a character ranking. Killer Frost and Penguin are definitely up there. Trying to find a good Deathstroke one, but haven't found it yet. But yeah, I got some character ranking tier lists coming up. Hoping you're looking forward to those. Dang, I'm late. How about the TMNT 2003 show? Yeah, I know, people have requested that, Monica. The problem is I do have to watch it all. Goodbye, Kat. Yeah, I know the characters. Bye, James. Alright, so yeah, future character ranking tier lists and Possibly a crossover, we'll see, but I also have stuff up on Patreon, go check it out. We talked about Tales from the Dark Side and have some Twilight Zones coming up. The crossover might be Goosebumps related, but we'll see which crossover partner gets to me first. But those are all the teases I'm giving. For now, let's finally wrap this up and set you guys free. Monica, if you missed it, the original 3 scary movies are up here in S tier, 4 is on meh, 5 is in super trash where it belongs, and Stan Helsing, surprise bonus round, is pretty good. I thought it was underrated. Yeah, fight me. Bye for now. Bye, Monica. Take one last snapshot of the tier list if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, let's finally wrap this up. Is the crossover what I think it is? That depends, James. You have to wait and see. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or just tune in for more videos posted here on Wolf Entertainment. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I wish you all a good, scary day. What's up?